Good gaming, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Zyder. Today we're gonna watch some Noob play cEDH. In today's game, we're gonna have a Tameshi, we're gonna have Sisay, we're gonna have her moistness, or is moistness, depending on who's talking, because Gold Sabertooth says his moistness. However, fun fact, frogs can actually change sexes. And we're gonna have a, who's last? A Terra. Damn, I actually missed my names. So Terra, somewhat new food. Actually, Sisay Waterlight Captain started with a Gemstone Cavern. Terra went for a, wow, first turn. Polluted Delta into an Entomb. Terra is now the new quick food chain deck, dropping, as you see, dropping Squee in the graveyard to reanimate it later or just cast it. Dropping a Chrome Mox, ching something, dropping a Common Tower, 1 and 2 for a Signet. Sisay dropping a Dzmir, Assassin's Creed, whatever. So it's a Glarb going for UC. Ooh, Dark Rit into Necropotence for Glarb. So the fun thing with Necropotence and Glarb is they can look at the top card every time they pay 1 life through 5 cards and when to end step. So depending on the situation with your Necropotence, you may want to go all in, pay 20 life and scald a really good end. Or what you can do as a strategy is just pay just enough to discard 1 or 2 extra, 1 or 2 cards, or just refill your end to 7. Both situations are valid. It's highly dependent on whom you're playing with. If you feel that you need to stop a turbo player, never hesitate to go and get Mockingbird, One Ring, and Bloom Tender. He has to have a crazy end if he discards that. Calling Tarn, dropping a Sylvan Library. Tameshi dropping Fomo Revolt, Study, Mana Confluence, and then pays for a Soaring, does not pay, so is creature triggers because he played a Nishric spell. Drop Kudzil, Misty Rainforest, cracked into a Trap most probably. Nope, went for a Bayou. Drop Safe Stone, does not pay for Ristic. Drawing 10 cards, he is digging into trying to get something. So I got a feeling that Glarb is having some issues either finding land or ramping up. So this is why he is going into drawing a bunch of cards even if it doesn't seem like he needs them. Nobody's going ahead. Of course, Sisay might be drawing some cards because I think it's Basil his name. He's gonna be a modified creature. So he will draw a card thanks to Kudzil. Dropping Boldus. Wow. Pact of Negation, Boldus, Ignoble Hierarch, Yawgmoth's Will into exile. So saying that if there is blue players in the pod, he will most probably not resolve Boldus Citadel, but it is a gamble to take if I were him. But then again, he already has Necropotence. So he doesn't need a second piece of Glarb dominance. Terra pulling is 2 cards extra from Sylvan Library. Because when you roll Sylvan Library, you have to pay 8 lives. Otherwise, what's the point of putting it back? Tarnished Citadel for Terra. So they were discussing that he brought back his Nicol Bolas and he's telling the YouTube viewers will know. Actually, unless I tell them, the YouTube viewers will know squat. Pretty sure you heard the super bad editing. What can I say? I need to watch out for my words. Ooh, Sword to Plowshare on Kudzil. So the reason why Path to Exile is better than Sword to Plowshare is that Sword to Plowshare will always give life, and Path to Exile will not always give someone a land. Tameshi, having nothing to do, passes. 1, 2, 3 for Sisay, points to Ristic. Terra dropping a Fairy Mastermind because Tameshi will draw and Sisay will draw. Its second card, Drew Bowmaster, pings the Fairy Mastermind. Could have pinged the Glarb player for Necropotence, but no. Going to combat. Basil going into Glarb. Minamo schools at Water's Edge. Exile Elvish Spirit Guide. Use Minamo and Follower Stone to cast Glarb. doesn't pay for Ristic. So now with his Necro, he can always go, I check my top, sure I can put that in my hand, I check my top, sure I can put that in my hand, I check my top. Nah, I'll stop there. Man, Tameshi with a full grip. So this is what I was saying, everything is really meta dependent. We have an extremely irresponsible meta in the Montreal area where people don't pay. People don't pay. People don't play blue farm. People don't play counter spells. It's pedal to the metal. Puts 5 cards aside from Necrobotons. Still digging for something in his library. End step, sculpt his hand up. Terra is fidgeting with his land to do something. Enlightened Tutor on the stack. Politicking around, countering the Enlightened Tutor. Use for more revolt. Will look in the top 3. Put one in his hand. Put the rest on the bottom of his library. Okay, so for more revolt is 3 tap, discard a card. Look at top X, or X is the number of artifact, which is actually insane because with Magda, when I have like 10 artifact, I look at the top 10. You put 1 in your hand. Actually, it would be insane in any artifact deck. Nobody does nothing. Food chain dropped. Food chain being taken and putting on top of his library. Technically, he doesn't have enough mana. Unless he's been hiding a LED in his hand. Goes and draw 2 extra. Keep the 2 extra cards for 8. Ooh, tries to drop it just as well. Question is, which mode is he taking? Pointing, so he's going for mana and pointing to the Tameshi player, which is 9 mana. Drops a Mystical Tutor. So technically just getting a Mystical Tutor to have 1 less card in hand. I'm wondering if he doesn't have a white to do silence. But even if he get a ton of red, where is he gonna get his green? Maybe I was about to say Simon Spirit Guide, but mostly Elvish Spirit Guide. Force of Will. This, I'll repeat myself. This is the most epic art for Force of Will. So Force of Will on top of his library is trying to deal with, please, can anyone cast something just for the fun of me drawing that Force of Will? Deadly Rollick, Sisay, not paying for Ristic. Force of Will, the Jessica's Will, exiling Teferi, that is something. Sorry, it's Tree Fairy. Drops a Wooded Foothills. Drops a Petal, Ristic trigger. He will fetch to pay for Ristic. Passes the turn. Polluted Delta being dropped. Discussion about around the table about, oh no, he still has Food Chain. And if he draws a land, next turn he'll be able to Food Chain into Squee. And then that's game over. The worst part of casting a game is casting a game with players that are overthinking shit. Imposter Mech, they are overthinking because they're doing maths in their head. Copies of Orcish pinging Glarb. What's the white red? Plateau? I don't recognize the picture of the plateau. Dropping Emiel allows Ristic to draw. On Emiel ETBs, he has a Basil trigger, can draw a card. Tameshi Orcish pings Glarb. Swings out to Terra because Terra's open. Damn, going down to 1. 1 Orcish triggers and he's gone. But then again, Terra is on the win. He has Food Chain in his hand. He has Squee in the graveyard. Fun fact, I just learned. Necropotence cancels a draw step. So if he had a Mana Vault, since there's no draw step, he doesn't lose 1 life on his draw step. Felwar Stone. Imp Seal. Sure, trigger. No, sorry, there's just only one Ristic. Trigger Ristic. Orcish pings Terra. cEDH. It would have won with the Jeska's Will. But even without the Jeska's Will, it could have just casted Food Chain. Yeah, so politicking around, Terra was saying, I need to go fast because Glarb is getting answers way too much. But even just Tameshi drawing that many cards, it was already too late past turn 4, maybe? Turn 3? If you want to play Turbo without protections, you need to go and be sure you can get turn 2 or turn 3 wins, because if you're turn 4, it's already too late. So starting to swing around, Orcish Bowmaster pinging Tameshi. And Tameshi is saying, why are you pinging me? He has Necropotence. Calling Ritual would it hard. Intuition targeting Sisay. Ooh. So calling Volt and Imp Seal, so he can actually Mind Break Trap. The other 2 cards should be counterspells. If calling goes true, he may win the game. If calling doesn't go true, he may just scoop. Mind Break Trap, Mind Over Matter, Brain Freeze, Lotus Bloom. So it's an intuition where you choose who wins. Yeah, so he has a choice between countering the Calling Writ, because if you counter the Calling Writ, you can actually Sisay still has a game. If the Calling Writ goes true, Tameshi lose all of his rocks. Sisay lose everything but Emiel, so they're all way behind. Glarb digging for an answer and saying, look, I have a choice, I do it or I die. And he just says, I'm going down and down and down and down, and he actually commits suicide. Ooh, Grand Abolisher. Going in for the will. For the win. 1, 2, Tameshi. 1, 2, 3, sorry. So goes cast Bloom. Presuming Bloom enter untapped, and he can just right cast it. Wandra. Tameshi is Azorius. He doesn't have Breach. Why did he make red? No, it's white. Sorry. Moxamber. I have absolutely no idea what he's doing. So he can bring back a land into his hand. First return is Mind Over Matter. Okay. Tameshi. X and white. Return a land you control to its owner's end. Return target artifact or enchantment card with mana value X or less. And from your graveyard to the battlefield, activate as a sorcery. So at this point, he is bringing back the Lotus Bloom, sack the Bloom, Cyclonic Rift, the Orcish tries to answer with Emiel, but he cannot answer with Emiel. So with Mind Over Matter, he can discard a card to untap something, cast One Ring, then with Mind Over Matter, he will be able to discard a card, retap One Ring, draw a bunch of cards, and wanted to have a chat with the Tameshi pilot. Blind Obedience is one of them, so they will be able to cast an infinite number of spells with Extort, so they will gain life and they will make people lose 1 life. Or Codex Shredder, mill us, and then use Fairy Mastermind to make us draw. Quick announcement, we are going to be doing the cEDH Cornwall Gaming Duel number 2 on August 9th, 2025 at 11:30 a.m. It is going to be a tropical island this time, so if you are in the general area, or if you want to pre-reg, come and see us and we'll be happy to maybe give you a tropical island. So thank you everyone. Remember, if you learned anything, please comment below. Of course, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next game.